Hello, everyone, and happy Mother's Day. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Bret Hart WrestleMania 38 Series Elite. This figure commemorates Bret Hart's match, his return match, actually. Actually, it was one of the most unique matches in modern WWE history for mostly bad reasons, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But we see the box. The Bret Hart. This is, of course, this is from 2010. So this was leading up. This would have been WrestleMania. His attire from WrestleMania, 26. And then we look on the back of the box. We see Bret Hart, in his on that show. And yeah, and we see the description, which indicates returning to WWE after 12 years, seeking peace, the excellence of execution, wound up going to war with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania. And of course, we see the other figures in this series: Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, AJ Styles, all of which I have. This is one of the few full series of WWE figures I own, as far as having the entire set. And if you watch my previous videos, I recently did the AJ Styles and the Shawn Michaels, so I got Stone Cold coming up next. Be on the lookout for that soon. And these figures, they contain the build-a-figure pieces to create Vince McMahon. And that's a Vince McMahon, from his announcer days in the, early 90s, before it was public knowledge, common knowledge, that he was the owner of the company to, fans such as myself. And we see on the side, you have Bret Hart's action pose. And yeah, so let's get into this figure, and hope every mother has had an enjoyable Mother's Day. I saw my mom earlier today at church, and then went down to see my mother-in-law, spent some time with her. So just a real good day with family. And yeah, in this, now we're going to, just like the figure. I don't really care about the additional stuff with it. Okay, it's one of the more easier takeouts that I've done in a while. So here we go. So we have Bret Hart, and of course this is Bret Hart. Very good face head scan. I definitely like this. Bret's head scans have gotten, from my understanding, have gotten a lot of controversy over the years in the figure community, because some figures, they just hit spot on, some look nothing like him, and then with the eyes and I know the Survivor Series Elite that came out a couple of years ago, which I have that figure. I'll be doing an unboxing on that at some point soon. But that figure, he has very huge looking eyes, which do not look like the Bret Hart I know at all. So it's just real interesting. But I think this is a good one, though. I like this look, and it is a unique look because this is his post early 2010s look. He had on, of course, cool Hitman design shirt, but he had on, the jeans short, so mimicking his inner John Cena. But it's a good look for Bret, though. I like this because I like the hair, I like the facial expression. He has, the proud kind of grin, and I didn't even realize I'm wearing pink and black today. I'm wearing pink. I rarely have worn this shirt. This is a fairly new shirt I got over the last maybe year or so, and I've worn it maybe less than 10 times. So I just happened to wear it today for Mother's Day, since Mother's Day, I feel like it was a good color to wear, at the church. But yeah, we have the the armband, and we have the pink and black wristband, shirt that you can take off. This is typical, kind of cloth shirt, so it's not soft goods. But I like the shirt on this, so I may actually just keep it on. Then you have these look like kind of some somewhat grayish shorts, and some sneakers. And yeah, so pretty just solid figure. It feels good in my hand, and this is just a cool piece to add to my other Bret figures. Bret is a guy whose figures I have quite a few Brets, but he's nothing like my AJ Styles or Rey Mysterio's, as far as just tons of Seth Rollins. Don't have nowhere near to that extent, but I definitely try to kind of have different pieces, Bret's represented through the eras. The most recent Bret I got was the defining moments figure from WrestleMania 8. So solid figure. And just some backstory on this. So this was the match. You know, Bret Hart was gone from WWE since, you know, the Montreal Screwjob in '97. He came back to be inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2006, and that was it. You know, he was not on TV or anything like that. He was just came in to be inducted for the Hall of Fame in '06. And then it was, you know, 2010 when he buried the hatchet with the company. And, well, actually, he buried it he buried it before then, because if you remember, they did the DVD on him, the 3-disc DVD set, which I actually got for Christmas in '05, and I still have it to this day. And it's actually part of the banner image on my on the YouTube page, so I believe it is. But yeah, that Bret Hart DVD, so that kind of started the ball for his, you know, repairing his relationship with the company. He did the DVD in '05, then he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in '06, then he returned in 2010, and that was a very notable night because that was the night where he buried the hatchet with Shawn. That was him and Shawn, you know, first time inside of a wrestling ring together, you know, since, you know, the Montreal, and then laid the scene. And that was also historic because that was the night where TNA, that was a very historic night, because that was when the night that TNA started going head to head with Raw on Mondays. This was kind of early. This was early in the Eric Bischoff regime, so he of course thought best way to get TNA on track is for them to go head to head against Raw. Did not work out well at all, because before the end of that year, if I'm correct, my time, like I said, I wasn't really super into TNA back then, but I think before the end of 2010 or possibly early 2011, they were back to their usual Thursday nights. So it was just, I think they're whatever night they came on usually, but they weren't going head to head Mondays long against WWE. And Bret was, and the match with Vince was it was the definition of more is less. Because, you know, had they just announced the match and did no angles leading up to, you know, the weeks into WrestleMania, it would have been probably a better received match. But they did some really convoluted storyline where Bret was, I think, ran over or attacked by a car. Then he had this cast on. Then come to find out he was tricking Vince. And it was typical of WWE at that period. It was just overbooked, you know, just too many cooks in the kitchen. And it went from being what should have been one of the biggest grudge matches in wrestling history, if done correctly, and should have done huge business, to it didn't really mean nothing. And the match itself was just odd because it was totally consistent of Bret beating on Vince for the duration of the match. There was no real heat at all. It was just a weird visual. And then the other Harts were at ringside interfering. It was just basically them beating on Vince for the entire duration of the match, the entire family. And it just left fans and people very confused. And it's one of those matches you don't hear a lot talked about today, because I don't even think Bret likes to talk about it. So really weird match, but anyway, it's a part of history. This figure's a part of history. So again, just want to give you some backstory on that. And again, just think that's pretty much it. Just thank you all for watching. Thank you for my latest subscribers, those who have subscribed to the channel lately. I cannot remember your names at the moment, unfortunately, but thank you to everyone who has subbed, who likes these videos, who comments. I try my best to respond to the comments in a timely manner. And again, just thank you again for taking out the time to watch these videos. As I always say, and we'll say on every video, there are a million other things you could be doing with your precious time, but you are choosing to watch my videos, and I do appreciate that more than you know. So that is it. Hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will talk to you again after a while.